We just need to, I need a prompter. Oh, okay. Thank you.
First, obviously. Tonight on Elon Local News.
Show you the money. No, I'm sorry. Showing you the money. Donors, endowments. What's next? Okay, I apologize for some technical difficulties there. We begin tonight. This is Elon Local News, and we begin with an ENN alert. Police reports obtained today by our newsroom detail an assault on a police officer by an ELON'S student during the early hours of Sunday morning. Good evening, I'm Baylor Rodman.
And I'm Chloe Franklin. Thanks for joining us.
Our Ellis Chandler reported earlier today from South O'Kelly Avenue about the latest that has unfolded this weekend. Basically, well, as we wait for the video to pull up, there was an ELON'S student who was charged for assaulting a police officer at an event in the early hours of Sunday morning, approximately 12:30 a.m. on South O'Kelly Avenue. Police reports were obtained this morning by our team here in the newsroom, and we will bring you the latest on that. Here it is.
Thanks, Baylor and Chloe. Those signed up for the Elon e-alert messaging system were notified of the assault investigation just after 1 a.m. early Sunday morning. Town of Elon police were patrolling the area, and the reports I have with me say they observed a large party in traffic violation. They responded to a noise ordinance violation and cleared the roadway. An Elon student involved in the incident has no comment at this time, but parent Wendy Valenti is expressing her concerns.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Heart doesn't see race. Love is love. Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education. What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you.
You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
of today, Elon is reporting 14 cases of COVID-19 on campus. With a vaccination rate over 95% in students, our Maeve Ashbrook took a look at how much of a threat the coronavirus really poses to fully vaccinated students. According to Healthy Elon, students who are fully vaccinated should talk to a medical professional either on or off campus if they think they are experiencing coronavirus symptoms.
Well, some international students are caught up in the details of the vaccine approval process at Elon now that the shot is required for all students. Though Cambodian native Sunith Reem does have a vaccine approved by Elon, she says the process was not as simple as it was for American residents. Representative for Global Education Center Sheena Van Beek told Elon News Network international students who get their shot outside the U.S. are, quote, supported on a case-by-case basis.
For some students, Elon's study abroad programs are what made them come to campus, and now the GEC is reporting that nearly 300 Elon students are beginning their courses overseas. Elon Jr. Kendall Gilbert is currently studying abroad in Florence, Italy. Small class sizes and proper social distancing allow her to attend classes in person and unmasked, but in order to enter restaurants and museums in the area, she must show her vaccine card. I thought it was going to be worse than this. There is the best possible situation right now. I thought that we would have to wear masks everywhere. We were walking outside, but it's not too bad here, says, quote, Kendall Gilbert. Meanwhile, in Denmark, Junior Caroline Sant says nearly 70% of Copenhagen residents are vaccinated and the mask mandate in the area has been lifted. She says, quote, it feels normal here. I feel lucky that I got away from the United States and all my classes are in person, so it feels almost like normal life here. Even though the university cannot confirm that students will get to stay abroad for the full semester, both Gilbert and Sant say the study abroad programs were worth the wait.
Funeral arrangements for Elon trustee Wallace L. Chandler have been announced following the death last Wednesday. A memorial service is set for Wednesday, September 1st at 1 p.m. at River Road Church in Richmond, Virginia. A burial service for family and friends is set for the next day at 11 a.m. at Oak Ridge Cemetery in South Boston, Virginia. Chandler served on the Board of Trustees for over 40 years and was known as an advisor to Elon presidents J. Earl Dannelly, Fred Young, and Leo Lambert.
Rich Austin, who was selected as Burlington Police Chief in August, chose to step back from the position due to a family circumstance. Austin said he plans to remain in his current role as Chief of the Milton, Georgia Police Department. Austin was set to begin the role on September 27th. Kearns is set to serve as interim police chief for the second time, continuing in this role until the position is filled. Coming up, relief and disbelief now that masks are here to stay.
Here you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mind. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Open road, here comes the Heffley family.
Whether it's a short trip or a long haul.
Estimated time, 47 hours.
They will beg.
You're hungry? I'm happy to provide.
They will plead.
Deep fried butter on a stick.
But whatever you do, don't wimp out.
Now you're talking?
Make them buckle up.
He can't hurt.
Remember, safety first. Cheese curls second.
Are you orange?
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. let you go. Never gonna let
You're watching Elon Local News.
It's gone. That's why I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna let you go. No, no, never gonna let you go.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never gonna let you go. Never gonna let
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education, what are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That would be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Well, welcome back. We've been experiencing many technical difficulties this evening, but we thank you for staying with us. Tropical Storm Ida is continuing to barrel through, and it's delivering catastrophic damage, heavy rain, and severe flooding to those in its path. You're looking at a live radar of it right now. Ida made landfall near New Orleans Sunday as a Category 4 hurricane, bringing rain, high winds, and dangerous sea surges. It is now expected to be the fiercest storm to have struck the city since Hurricane Katrina, which was just 16 years ago to the day, if you can believe that. At this hour, millions of homes, businesses, and the entire city of New Orleans remain without power. Looking ahead, the storm is expected to weaken but continue to bring heavy rainfall and moderate winds through Tennessee and Kentucky tomorrow as it now makes its way up to the northeast, overall impacting 30 million people. And Chloe, you know, for ELON'S students who call Louisiana home, like junior Rennell Taylor, hurricanes like Ida are common for the area during this time of year. We spoke with this student, Rennell Taylor, earlier, and he said, quote, "I think the reason my parents aren't leaving, or the reason my dad isn't really scared, is because after a while you become numb to it. Because it happens almost every hurricane season, but boy, we have not seen a storm like this. It's certainly very devastating." Taylor says the New Orleans community is a beautiful one, that it's a resilient one. He said, quote, "Everybody was pitching in to get our community back because without it, the city is really nothing." It's a sad situation, and our hearts and prayers go out to everyone there. Taylor says he's worried about staying in touch with his parents during the storm. After losing power earlier this afternoon, Taylor's family evacuated and they're on their way to Alabama. But as you can see, even Montgomery there, live there on the radar, is still in the storm's path. So they certainly have to be careful while they are traveling. But for a look at the weather ahead, we might see some thunderstorms here in the North Carolina area as well. And our Jenna Mandrioli is live on Citrone Plaza, and I think she can hear us this evening. And she's out there with our Phoenix 5-day forecast.
Jenna, thank you.
Good evening. The sun is beating down on me out here. It feels like 100 degrees, but hopefully it's going to cool down a little bit tonight, dipping into the low 70s. And now for our Phoenix 5-day forecast. Tomorrow, we're going to see a continuation of the trend of 90 degrees, but luckily it's going to be much more cloudy, so we'll get a break from the sun. Beginning tomorrow night and into all day Wednesday, we'll start to see the effects of Hurricane Ida in the Burlington area with scattered thunderstorms and heavy rain, so be careful on your walk to classes. On Thursday and into the end of the week, we're going to see a little bit of a lowering in the temperatures with mid to low 80s and abundance of sunshine on Friday and Saturday for when our class of 2020 arrives to campus for their long-deserved in-person commencement weekend. That's it for your Phoenix 5-day forecast. Back to you in the studio.
All right, Jenna Mandrioli with our Phoenix 5-day. Jenna, thank you so much. Yes, commencement this weekend. The 2020 graduates, they're finally getting the commencement they deserve. There was a little bit of a shakeup last week. We're going to have it inside in Schar Center. They've moved it outside here under the Oaks, which I think is nice, right? Because it speaks to that tradition.
Yes, getting the acorn, the sapling.
Exactly. Definitely. It's all coming full circle. They're getting to come back, and that's the weather for the weekend. I guess it's going to be somewhat nice. They don't have to worry too much about rain, so that's good. And yeah, we're very much looking forward to that. Some of our reporters who are with us covering lots of crazy things, especially the coronavirus pandemic as it hit and cut their senior year short. They'll be returning this weekend, and so I know for students across campus, it's going to be nice to have people back.
Definitely.
So we are going to try Go ahead. Students and faculty are voicing their relief and concerns after the university extended the mask mandate. Our Kira O'Connor has the story. And
nearly 4,000 people are being hospitalized for COVID-19 symptoms in North Carolina, but with approximately 5 million residents fully vaccinated, how much overlap is there?
What is going on now is both entirely predictable but entirely preventable.
The Centers for Disease Control defines a breakthrough case as a detection of COVID-19 in a fully vaccinated person or someone more than 2 weeks past their second dose.
Chief Epidemiologist for the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services, Dr. Zach Moore, says the organization is monitoring these cases, but the rates are low compared to unvaccinated people.
I think that just kind of really drives home the point that, although we're in a very, very bad spot with our COVID pandemic right now in North Carolina, we have an incredibly effective tool.
ELON'S medical director, Dr. Jeanette Archinal, agrees. In an interview with ENN, Archinal said the vaccine is not enough to prevent an outbreak on campus.
If the surge gets worse, if more vaccinated people start getting sick, then I would expect, based on past performance, that ELON administration will readdress that issue.
ELON says it isn't tracking how many cases are breakthrough cases versus how many are not, but it will update COVID case numbers on campus every week. Maeve Ashbrook, ELON Local News.
Until transmission rates in the community decrease, masks are here to stay.
Elon University has an endowment of $335 million. Now that sounds like a lot, but it's lower than many schools around our size. Vice President for University Advancement Jim PIATT says Elon started raising money later than some of our competitors, whether those be some here in our area or some other schools around the country that maybe you went to go ahead and look at as well. But what is an endowment? Right? Where is that money going, and why should students care? I sat down with Jim PIATT to have that conversation.
In its simplest form, an endowment is a series of funds that the university holds in perpetuity. That means they're there forever, and those funds have a purpose, and most of those funds at Elon have a purpose of supporting student scholarships.
How has the pandemic impacted it? at all.
Yeah, well, again, I would say that because the endowment is largely restricted for certain purposes, that's what it's restricted for, and we can't use it for other reasons. Probably where that pandemic had the impact the most is simply that in the donor community, people who are considering making a gift to the university or any charitable organization for that matter, they may have had their confidence shaken a little bit.
Was it also because of how the university responded to specific things? Did you hear donors talk about that at all in terms of us being able to be open and how that made it?
You put the finger on it right there. So many folks we've heard from were just tickled that we pushed through, worked hard to remain open, remain face-to-face, because I think a lot of donors to Elon, just like a lot of students at Elon, understand this place is about engagement and high-impact practices, and those things happen because we're in the same space.
How are you kind of spreading that message that not only higher education is worth it, but that Elon education is worth it?
Yeah, well, we focus a lot on how the Elon education is worth it in our messaging, and there's no better way to tell that story than through the lens of students. So to be very open about this, we will show, we'll utilize some video resources where students and alums will tell their story about how a scholarship to attend Elon made all the difference. We also do things like scholarship students will write to the donors who created the scholarship that student has received and thank them and send photos of their Elon experience. I think the main thing I would say to students today is to think about the impact of philanthropy that surrounds you, whether those donors gave to endowment or whether they made gifts to support some of the technology, or the building space itself. The impact of giving back to the university or giving to the university is felt every single day. For most students, it feels somewhat invisible, right? But I can guarantee you, if you go through a year at Elon, you are going to be in buildings that were supported by donors. You are going to be taking advantage of opportunities that were supported by donors. And as students get to sort of understand that as part of their Elon experience, then when they become alums and they maybe get a call from our phone center about would you consider a gift back to the School of Comm or a gift to the Phoenix Club to support athletics, they may be a little more inclined to do so.
To watch the full Q&A with Vice President for University Advancement, Jim PIATT, visit our website, elonnewsnetwork.com.
Live performances are back at the Center for the Arts this year. The fall season marks the beginning of the end for some Elon seniors, and they're feeling bittersweet. Our Anne-Marie Bonner has more.
Senior dance major Caroline Booth gets to perform with her classmates again, masked but not distanced. She's also choreographing pieces for the fall dance concert. She says live shows are more rewarding.
The aspect of performing is kind of different. With a live performance, you get to really connect with the audience. Like it's like a full like dancer audience connection, and like you can kind of like read the emotion more.
Even though she's in the early stages of the creative process, Booth says she's using her dancer's strengths and weaknesses to make her vision come to life on stage. This semester's musical, 42nd Street, marks senior Weston LeCron's last fall opening night, where he hopes to make a lasting impression before graduation.
As a performer, as an artist, you never know who's in the audience. You know, someone who grew up watching theater at such a young age and was really mesmerized it and then felt moved to do it themselves, you know, you never know what sort of impact you're going to have on those audiences, which I think is something that's really unique to theater.
While LeCron's class may be small, he says the bond the 25 have made since freshman year is special.
Senior year is sort of like this big daunting year, but also remembering to like take the time to enjoy it, have fun, and lower the stakes a little bit.
After time away from the stage, he's ready to collaborate again. LeCron says there's nothing quite like live theater.
McCrary Theater will be back hosting family and friends this fall, and the seats beside me will be full starting late October with the opening of 42nd Street. At the Center for the Arts, I'm Anne-Marie Bonner, Elon Local News.
Fall dance concert director Casey Avant says the Department of Performing Arts has not yet made a decision about masks for performers and audience members.
For that, the projections need to be blood. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
I'll be right back. Hi. You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Welcome back to Elon Local News. We are joined now by Professor Balderas. All right, well, that's what we would call you inside the classroom, but we'll call you Israel Balderas for now.
I prefer. If we're going to be here on set, the new set, I prefer you call me Israel.
Well, thank you for joining us live tonight in studio. So while you're a professor now, you've been teaching, I know, for the last 4 years. You worked at a CBS station in West Palm Beach, worked in D.C. for a little bit, and were a broadcaster yourself for 20 years. So
I was. The last time I was on a news set actually was December 2nd, 2016. That was the last time I worked at a Sinclair station in West Palm Beach.
I'm trying to think, December 2nd, 2016, that was a pretty busy time for you.
We had just covered the election, right, in Florida. It was a must-win state for both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. And then, of course, West Palm Beach is right where Mar-a-Lago was located. So, as you can imagine, Donald Trump, the candidate, spent a lot of time in Florida. And so I had the privilege of covering both him and Hillary Clinton in a must-win state. So it was fun to end my television career doing that big story.
Yes, definitely. I'm sure that was great to cover, and now you're back with us, and we definitely appreciate that. But how has it been for you to be a professor during these COVID times?
You know, I think, so I was at a university prior to Elon in West Palm Beach Atlantic University. We actually had face-to-face teaching last year, and I think for me, there's a joy of being with students face-to-face. That's why I went into education. I like having this interaction with students. Today I was in the newsroom helping students with an important story to cover. I think for me, it helps me to find the love of why I'm doing this. And it's fun to be here.
Well, we're going to be sure to connect with you all throughout the semester. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll have a lot more talks with you for sure, but thanks for saving our day.
Oh, my pleasure. Always.
With all the news that you need to know, you can visit our website, elonnewsnetwork.com.
And be sure to follow us on social media at Elon News Network.
We'll see you right back here for ELN Morning, Thursday at 10.
Have a great week, Elon.